So there is a new sheriff in town known as FinCEN. Ooh, what does that stand for? Fin, financial. C, crimes. FinCEN, enforcement network. And this is a part of the U.S. government. So if you go to FINCEN.gov, government, gov, slash BOI, beneficial owner information. And there's a new sheriff in town. Since about 2020, banks and financial institutions have been required to gather this information from most businesses, anyone opening up an account. Well, apparently, this is not enough. This is not enough to catch all the bad actors, the criminals, the ne'er-do-wells in this world, in the areas of business and money laundering and criminal behavior, is that some of these folks are going out there and still operating their nefarious actions within business entities without being registered at the banks. And so, because these bad actors exist, it's time to punish everybody. At least that's how it's working, right? So there is a new requirement starting in 2024, January 1st, 2024. This FinCEN will make it available to you, a business owner, to submit your beneficial owner information. This is to track down the money launderers and the criminals who are using U.S. business entities for nefarious purposes. And to do this, they need to know who are the beneficial owners of these companies. It also could include managers, anyone with substantial financial control over a business. Now, we're not just, in fact, interestingly enough, this new requirement is actually exempting the large businesses that have already pretty much been handled through banking. They're pretty much exempt from this. So these are only small businesses. So if you have ever registered a business at the state level, not even at the federal level, so it's not anyone with an EIN, it's anyone who's registered at the state level, their business entity, you could be on the block to get this done. You say, what's the big deal? I just got to submit my name, address, and all that stuff. Yes, that's true. However, the big deal comes in the punishments. These are nasty. Nasty, mean, downright cruel. But they're doing this, once again, to try to catch the bad actors, tighten up the tax compliance, and make sure everyone's paying their taxes like they should. That's really what it comes down to. They want the money. So they're trying to ream in any one who should be paying taxes and is not. That's what they call these bad actors. So if you have registered your business, which you're going to have to do in most states, you're under a legal obligation to do so, register your business, then you also need to submit this information with them. If you do not, so those new businesses starting in 2024, you have 30 days to submit this form. If you don't, then you have 90 days. So the deadline is in 30 days. If you don't comply, you get like a 90-day window to then comply. I think that's how it's saying it. This is new, so they could make some changes. This is how I understand it right now. I would stick with the 30 days. I wouldn't wait on the 90 days, because once that 90 days is passed, I'm sure they're going to start charging you $500 a day at that 31st day. So you might not see anything until 90 days out. But if you're not complied within that 90 days, I'm sure they're going to start the penalty of $500 a day from that 31st day moving forward until you comply. And even when you comply, you're still going to owe that money. So it's not like, oh, oops, I'm sorry, I've complied now. It's, well, yes, but now you're still going to owe $500 a day until you've actually complied with it. They could do all kinds of nasty things to you to get that money, including 2 years of jail time in a federal prison. That's right. You could be you could be a felon going to federal prison by not giving them this information, by not filling out this form. Up to 2 years for each account. Is that every day? I don't know. Some prosecutors want to earn their collar. So, yeah. And then additional $10,000. What are they calling an occurrence of this? Is it per business? Probably. Is it per day? Well, $500 per day. And then those business owners who have existed for a while, if you have a LLC floating out there, you could be on the block for this. There are some exceptions. There are particular exceptions even regarding you could qualify as an inactive business as an exception to the rule. But that exception has certain details. So it's not just because you think you're inactive that you are in fact inactive. There's certain criteria that even these inactive businesses have to meet. So they're being fairly serious about this as far as the penalties go. I think it's going to be an enforcement nightmare, but I think the monetary issue makes it a fairly easy way for them to just scrape the data at the state level and say, have they submitted the form? No. Send them out the bill. Send them notice, freeze the bank accounts, do every nasty thing to get this money from them until they comply. Will it stop criminals from being criminals? No. Might it help track down a few? Maybe. Is it a big show of force to make the American people feel confident that their government's doing everything they can to find those who are money launderers? Yes, it's a big sign. They're punishing you for the criminals in a way, but that's kind of what government is a big show in many instances, with penalties attached. So what we're going to be doing with Tax Lab is we're going to set up a review process where you can contact us. We'll do a nominal price, say $50. So for $50, contact us. We'll put down an appointment for say 20 minutes. No more than it. Really should only take about 15 minutes. Let's say 15 minutes. It could go 20, but I doubt. I'm pretty sure we can figure this out in 15 minutes. We'll ask you the right questions. There's a whole checklist of different exemptions. So in that 15 minutes, we'll discover whether or not you're exempt from having to worry about this. We'll also we'll also give you some recommendations on what you can do and how you can secure that you, if you have been inactive, that you are not liable for this. So there's steps you can take that we can get you going on. And thirdly, that if in fact you are liable for this, we're going to gather the information necessary at that point to get you filed on that. That won't pay for our help in filing it, but it will be a down payment, so to speak. So if it turns out you don't need to file, we're going to give you the instructions to help you secure that and have that, get that kind of in writing, so to speak, from the right entities. And number three, if you do qualify, that's going to be a down payment for us actually submitting that in time. And I want to get the information that we need right then and there. So what would happen, you get us the information that we need right then and there. As soon as this opens up, January 1st, we're going to start submitting these like crazy. And then we'll send that off to you, all the data, all the information, a copy of it. We're going to send that everything to you, plus the remainder of, we'll probably get the remainder of the bill first and then send that to you. But we'll process it. How we normally do is we process something. We say it's done, give us the money. Once you give us the rest, then we'll go ahead and send that form, the proof of it, off to you. So we're going to try to make it fairly affordable and easy for you to comply with this very, very, I don't mean to scare you, but I think it's going to be a nightmare for a whole bunch of people who they never knew they were on cue for this. Paul at lab.tax.